first. This story is up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. It's important to get it out to everyone because Watson boils down the whole spectrum here. Fake environmentalism has never been about cleaning up the environment, okay? On record, it's about taking control of society and government and select corporations controlling resources. And Bill Gates, the UN, the Club of Rome, Prince Philip, Ted Turner. I mean, it's just legions of quotes and statements that they want to cut carbon output to shut down human industrial society. And Bill Gates has even said, we played the clip ad infinitum here probably 20 times, that there's an equation of reducing humans to reduce carbon footprint. And he says that's the only way. So they're not worried about out-of-control genetic engineering or nuclear weapons or toxic waste dumping. What humans exhale that plants then breathe, it's part of the cycle, that's the problem, because it's a non-problem. They pick something that allows them to take control of society. And now in the last 2 months, the UN and others have said they're just shifting to population reduction. They're saying, okay, this is really about getting rid of people. People are bad. And they run the TV ads of the teacher killing the kids. And every time I tell a news reporter about that, I had a news reporter last week asking me about that like I was making it up. And I said, you haven't seen this TV movie ad? You haven't heard about the 1010 Project? And they're like, oh, now I see it. I mean, I know it sounds crazy when I say that, but I'm not the one saying it. I'm just reporting on what they're doing. Scientific American, kill more babies to save Earth. Eugenicist push discredited overpopulation myth in pursuit of elite agenda to reduce global living standards. Paul Joseph Watson. Following the leak of the United Nations blueprint, which outlined the plan to replace fear-mongering about global warming with the contrived threat of overpopulation, a Scientific American report, and I see these every day in big news, mimics precisely that talking point, pushing the notion that programs of mass abortion and birth control need to be encouraged in order to reduce the amount of humans on the planet exhaling carbon dioxide. And I remember 2 months ago, we covered this new talking point, and now you see it every day in the news to show you how controlled mainstream media and the dominant scientific institutions are because they're funded by government grants. You know, it came out last week that the Black Blogging and Media Association was given $3 million under the table by Obama to report positively on him. Well, Armstrong Williams was given $250,000 by Bush to promote No Child Left Behind. Why is the media focusing on a lot of black entertainment and black media being paid off? It's all paid off except for this show and a few others. Okay? It's all paid under the table. I've seen talk show hosts that claim they're patriots, you know, last year endorsing Obama. I mean, you got to wonder about this. I mean, you know, there's a lot of money going around here. Ultimately, family planning alone, such as the use of condoms or other reproductive health services, is part of the world with growing populations, including the U.S., could restrain population growth significantly. The analysis finds, writes David Bailo, and it goes to back up his argument. He links to an article by completely discredited eugenicist Paul Ehrlich, who once stated that everyone will disappear in a cloud of blue steam. That's a quote. Ehrlich, who co-authored Eco-Science with White House science czar John P. Holdren, the textbook that advocates putting drugs in the water to sterilize people, mandatory forced abortions, and tyrannical eco-fascist dictatorship run by a planetary regime, is infamous for spectacularly inaccurate predictions about how overpopulation would destroy the environment. The article cited by him advocates a mass public relations campaign targeted at women. This is what the Scientific American is promoting. Targeting women to encourage them to have abortions in order to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. In other words, more babies need to be killed to prevent them from exhaling CO2. Coincidentally, the cover of the Scientific American issue in which the article appears features human skulls. Now, I sent it to you this morning, but I forgot to ask if you have it in queue. There's not just the John Lennon quote. There's another video at the bottom that we've played before that deals with replacement rates. There's two videos on this article. If you look at the IM, I note that. There's a second video. It's already in our system, but we're going to try to play it sooner rather than later. But we're going to go ahead and play now this Dick Cavett show, 1975 with John and Yoko Ono, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, where this trendy woman gets up. Because, you know, they teach him, oh, it's liberal to not have children. It's liberal to sterilize people. It's a woman's right not to have children. When it's one of the most wonderful things in the world. If you don't want to have children, that's fine. And then they sell mainly the West to stop having children, where from Japan to Europe to the United States, we have a 1.3 on average population. So that's a decrease. For every 2 adults, there's 1.3 children born to replace them. Now, the studies show you need 2.2 children, because 0.2% die in car wrecks or cancer or get struck by lightning or drown in the pool. So you need 2.2 children on average to be born. People say, well, how do you have 0.2? It's averages of billions of people. You need 2.2 to be born just to replace who you've got. So we're not replacing at 1.3. But they're saying teach women, and who's likely to follow this? Trendy women in the West. We already have the death of the West going on. So we're going to go ahead and play this clip. It's only a minute and 20 seconds of John Lennon getting it right. Here it is.
I don't believe in that. I think we've got enough food and money to feed everybody. And I think the natural balance, even though old people will last longer, I'm sure there's enough room for us, and some of them can go to the moon anyway.
You mean you think there's enough, if it were
I don't believe overpopulation, you know. I think that's just a kind of myth that government have thrown out to keep your mind off Vietnam and Ireland and all the important subjects.
Oh, I think you're wrong about that.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, so there's the facts from John Lennon. But I mean, the facts are the facts. World population is set to stop at about 8.1 billion, and I tend to agree with UN numbers because that mirrors the private think tanks that have studied it. It's going to plane out in 2020 to 2025 at a little over 8 billion, and then it's set to drop at current rates to about 6 billion by 2050. So the world population is dropping. But here is a boil down put out by a great group that's been doing research on this that we also have posted in Paul Watson's article at prisonplanet.com, Scientific American, Kill More Babies to Save Earth. We have a link to that organization where also in the video where they have all the documents and facts from government.